Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. This is Angela here in Serendipity Art, and I'm here with the third and final part of the Hocus Pocus book. This is part of my series of Hallow Palooza, series 2020, which I decide to do to inspire everybody, and it will end on October 31st. I will be giving two $30 gift certificate for the Spectrum Art Store, and all the information will be below. The store don't open until October. It will be the big opening, so you want to use that link and subscribe to their newsletter, because that way you can receive a discount and be updated of all the new goodies they receive. Most of the stuff that I use are in their website, and like I say, I use as she also does. The store is her daughter's, Madison, but she also do virtual sales once a month for a weekend. So subscribe to her channel so you can buy there too, because there's where she curate this fantastic kits. And she sold this kit, Hocus Pocus, that inspired me in making this book. That if you watched the video preview to this one, if you haven't watched it, there's 3 parts: how I started, how I got to this, and now I'm going to show you the book that go inside. I made a journal. So this is coffee dye, tea dye paper. I let it air dry and I iron it. It's 8 by 11. And I make the cover of my book with the chipboard that comes behind papers. These used to come behind papers. My husband used to brought me these. They used to toss them because they use some forms and they used to print them in the printing. But you can buy this anywhere. If you go like Office Max or something, you can buy this tip. I like this one because it's flexible, and I wanted it to be flexible because this book is not going to have a spine. So I also use, to make my book, 6 by 6 papers, which the only piece left that I have is this little piece that came. But what I did to use it in my book, using a glue stick, I put 2 papers together because they're not double-sided. And I press it with my bone folder so they will let it dry. Be generous with this and let it dry for 24 hours. And then you can cut them. The other thing you got was a bunch of ephemera, and this is the only one that I have left. And I might put it in the book. Who knows? I went a little crazy because I did this little journal, and it has so many things. As I go and show you, I will show you the book. This is the mini journal of Hocus Pocus. I use some charms in this tag, and this is something I fussy cut. When I fussy cut, you can go around a Sharpie, but I use my Tumble Art at ABT to go around the white corners. And I did that. So here it says cold answer days or nights. And here keep me your mind's eyes. So since the book had an eye, I used some ephemera from her store too. That it is the Halloween, and I used quite a bit. It's the Halloween ephemera that I got from her. So I also use inside to make my book a couple of these mini paper doilies from Doodlebug. In my book is four inches by 5.5. I tie my book because it's got with a piece of black lace. Let me take them open. And I use this beautiful lace, and I put a little couple charms in this tag, and I put the little cat Salem, and also there is another charm here that I added to it, and the word Hocus Pocus. So this is the closing of the book. Like you see, I make the book with the chipboard like this. I cut it completely. It's 8 inches by 5.5 tall. And then I fold it in half. But before I fold it, I use fabric tag, and I use my silicone spreader, and I added the fabric that I had. It's like snake skin from Hobby Lobby. I use these little letters that I have, and I took a piece of wire and 3 O-rings, and here I dangle something. I use a picture of them, and I wrote Hocus Pocus, and then I use 2 of these pins to hold it in place. This is the back of the book, and like you see, I torn my edges because this book looks like this. It's one signature. So let's go to the first page. When you open the page, this was one of the pages, the paper that came with it. I use a variety of stickers, pumpkins, all these here. I use here is some of the kids, some of these, even this that I print out of the flying potion. So I also use the black Sooth and this stamp that I have to add the script and the vintage photo to distress my edges. So let's just go and see what I have inside. Here, when you open the book, it says Happy Halloween, and there is 2 kids dressed asking for candy. And you will say, how did I make this? I use my distress dabbers. I shake them well, and I tap like this a couple times, and it makes a splatter. I also use a piece of paper. It's a Martha Stewart paper that I have, and I have this piece, and I use this was one of the papers that she's doing. If you notice, all my papers are distressed, I torn all my papers, and I use my first image that she came that it says Hocus Pocus. I put the spoon because she's doing a concoction and says all orders promptly attended to. Here she have all different things. And I use the word apothecary using the Tim Holtz Halloween clippings that also I got from her store. This is something I had and I added there. The same, this is from a lot of stickers that I've been collecting. And I distress the edges a little bit with black. The second page here, you can see I use the same technique. I use a teal spider. Yes, they have teal spiders. So I use this. This is, you see that I glued two papers together and then I torn the papers, but you have to let your papers dry for 24 hours. This is the Tim Holtz Halloween Ephemera. I use a little stamp that I have that says cautions. And I put the spider there. Here you can see that I use another of his ephemera. This is another piece that came curated. I fussy cut it. I used a washi tape. I don't know what the brand is, where it comes from, but it's this Fire Burn Cauldron Bubbles. Double toils and trouble. So I put it in top of them. And if you notice the pages behind, sometimes I use the black, sometimes I use the vintage photo. I use this script to give the pages some. Here you got a tuck spot that you can put anything that you want. Here you have a page that you can use for anything. Here is a sensitive soul that's stretchful. And here you can see this is another ephemera. I use fawn foam to put behind to elevate this. I had this sticker with the eye because you notice that she has the eye that has the book. And I gave her a glass. I don't know the correct name. And I had this prima flower. And I used the clippings again. And this is the paper because I put this paper together. Then here, you're going to see another of the ephemera. I distress the edges here of the paper. And use that little piece of Martha Stewart paper. Use a little piece of black lace. One sticker that says masquerade because they were really happy that they were going out. And held her spellbound. Here I did a tuck spot. And I did it with a piece of ribbon. And that piece of ribbon, I used a tag. And I used a tag like you see here using freaky fabric from the Dollar Tree. And I put one of the tag, Wicked, and here you can see that she has. In the paper, I did the same thing. Next page, it's open to you. And this one were little pieces that got left. And I left it there. And here I put a pumpkin. Here you can see I put, leave you more space. Here you can see the doily. Here in the middle, you can see the flying potion. And again, here it repeats. Here I use some of the ephemera from Tim Holtz, Halloween. And here I have this cat that looked just like Salem, the cat in the movie, and use a piece of the tissue paper, Halloween, in a key. I distress all the edges like you see. And here is another page that you see that I left. This is a talk spot. And here is the little girl. A strange feeling comes over you. And I put a little hat in her because she was a witch during Halloween. Then here, I fussy cut and I put googly eyes. And it says witches by the, I have to put it the other way because unfortunately I cannot read. It says witches by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. And then it says who witches and that. And I fussy cut the 3 ones, and behind it is a spider piece of that I have that I can find now of chip. It's chipboard spider webbed, and I used some of this Nuva glitter, and I put it behind the spider webs, and I add dimension. Here you can see that I left another page, and you have another page. Here, this was part of the papers, and there's the boys saying trick or treat, and the 31st. And here is another page. It's an advertising. Witches steel pins, 120 pound size, and it says SC. And I found this and I put it there. Also, she got these cautions in 240 volts, and I added there. And then there's the back of the book. So this is my book. I hope you enjoy. And if you have any question, the word that you're going to use here is masquerade. So I hope you have fun and enjoy this. After you tie your book, the book fit in here. You just close this here, and there is your book. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up, and I see you in my next video. The series continues, so beware. You don't want to miss it.